What's it mean to come to this camp knowing you're going to be coming to the next camp as opposed to those previous other summers where you knew you're going back to school?
Yeah, it's a little different feeling. I think it's the best way to describe it is just special being able to be here and know that you're really a part of the team as opposed to just coming in and trying to learn. So it's kind of that intensity of trying to gear up for camp later on and at the end of the summer and trying to learn as much stuff as you can and be able to bring back improvements when they see you again.
How different are you as a player and maybe even a person as you've matured from the guy we met at the draft in Buffalo in 2016?
Well, I think you said it right there. I think the biggest thing I've learned in college is just not only on the ice but off the ice is develop kind of maturity around my personality and my game. So I think hopefully that reflects within my game. But I think I've just kind of developed those experiences that allows you to play with a mature attitude.
The snippet of time that you did get to spend with the big team last spring, what do you remember from that? How valuable was that time spent?
It was one of the best experiences in my life. Just be able to, you see all these players on TV, and I think at first I was a little starstruck coming in and seeing all these players. It's the best in the world, and truly they reflect that every day. And be able to come in and see that sense of professionalism around the game that they bring and the intensity every day. It's no wonder why the Maple Leafs are one of the best in the league, and I think they're going to be for a long time. So it's really special being able to be a part of that and obviously be along with them for the playoffs.
What was the most memorable moment you had when you were up here?
I think one of the memorable moments was my very first experience. It was after about a week off at BC and trying to figure out the signing and everything. And I came in for the goalie skate, and the guys out there that hopped on the ice were guys like Tavares, Marner, Nylander, Matthews, and Marleau. Like a little bit of an eye-opening experience, seeing the difference in kind of the shot speed and the skill level. So again, I was a little bit starstruck, my first experience here, but I think being able to see a playoff game, where the Maple Leafs play at home and see how the city, really gathers around that team, and seeing how special it was, and seeing just kind of the intensity and the fun that the playoffs bring is pretty cool.
What's it like facing a Matthews shot?
Well, it's funny enough. So I used to come out at our goalie skates back at the development program when I was U17. He was a U18, and he'd come out. And we'd be doing like off-angle drills or a drill where you're not supposed to score, and he'd be tearing apart the goalies. So that was my first experience with him. But it's pretty cool to see how he's developed into one of the best in the business now, and be able to play around and mess around in breakaways and stuff like that after practice with him. The last round. Yeah. As much as I could. So I'm from St. Louis. Not my first team anymore. I think being drafted, it kind of switches that. But I was a hometown St. Louis fan. Yeah, happy for the city. Yeah, happy for all my friends and the city that cheers for them. And it's a special moment. I think you have to appreciate it, fan or not, when you see a team like that have a big momentous change in the middle of the season and what they've done for the city. So I think it's pretty spectacular.
Do you have any friends who are at the parade at all?
A lot of family and friends. Unfortunately, I was in Boston studying, so all my buddies weren't too happy with me. But yeah, it was pretty cool, and I got some videos and some pictures and stuff like that from the parade, and followed along a little bit on social media. So that was good.
Scholastically, how close to the end are you from making sure your parents are pleased with the investment you've done there?
Yeah, 3 classes. So I just finished up 2 this summer, and I met with the dean and everything before I left, and I think I'm going to take 2 online through Boston College this fall, and then 1 more in the spring. So then I'll have the ability to graduate with my class. Would be pretty cool.
You met with the dean?
Yeah.
Good guy or crusty old dean?
No. The stigma around the deans I don't think it's true at BC. I've been pretty fortunate to have very supportive people at BC. From I had experience with World Juniors and having to leave school for that and changed exams, and I've had Dean Keeley and Dean Sullivan, and they've been awesome working around that type of thing. So big influences.
What do you think of Jerry York going in the Hall of Fame?
Well deserved. I think you could have made an argument it could have happened a lot sooner. He's not only is a spectacular coach, but he is an amazing person. And you know, the lessons he's taught me on and off the ice is something I'll never forget. And to be able to play under, you know, someone as historical and as Jerry York is an experience I won't forget.
On the conference call yesterday, very humble man. He seemed to, like you say,
Yeah.
down to his guys.
Yeah. No. He is. He takes coaching to the next level, and I think in the sense that he really cares for his players. Whether you move on to the National Hockey League or you work in finance, you know, he's focused on, you know, making you a good person, not necessarily a good hockey player, of course, but you know, there's more to life than hockey. I think it's about being a good person. So.
At 73, does he have a good relationship still with kids your age?
Oh, of course, yeah, and I think you come in, you know, looking up to him as he is one of the best coaches ever, and it's pretty cool seeing him join the list of the coaches that were the NCAA coaches. I think it was like Herb Brooks, Lou Lamoriello, so some pretty great names that he's joining there, and it's well deserved.